Okay, so I had threatened a while back to do a demo of this amp, but I wanted to wait until I pretty much felt like it was box ready, and actually I am working on building a head shelf for this out of some reclaimed beam lumber that my son left. He used to work digging holes for the state, like ditches and things. They had these big old beams. We didn't even know what kind of wood it was until we ran them through my saw and found out that some of this stuff was like hard rock maple or spalted maple or oak or whatever. So I got a couple of those beams that I've kind of milled down into planks that I glued together, and then I'm going to plane off later and actually build a head shelf for this thing. But anyways, nonetheless, here it is. Looks like a hot mess, but it's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do here is quit talking a whole lot and flip this thing over and hopefully be able to get you guys a demo of what it sounds like. I'm gonna move some things around. Let's see here. Hopefully get a good shot here. So, well, I guess I should probably go through what the controls do, but give me just a sec. Alright, gonna let this thing warm up a bit. Alrighty, so here we go. It is on. Pretty much have most stuff labeled, but we'll go through it anyways. Here's the red channel, gain 1, gain 2, bass, mid, treble. The switch is a 3-way mid-range toggle switch. Gives you 3 different mid voicings. Foot switchable master volume, so you can have a lead boost on either channel. Each channel has its own clip switch. One side, middle is off. Either or is either diode clipping or transistor clipping. Resonance presence control, and my favorite option, the newly non-labeled negative feedback control. So that's pretty cool. White channel kind of mirrors the same thing, with the exception of the fact that there's a switch right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of blurry. I don't know why it's not zooming in here. That is that switch right there is the extra tube gain stage for the white channel. So let's see what we got. Let's plug in and see how this goes. And mind my plan. For those of you who don't already know, I probably talk about it endlessly, but I have Lyme disease, and so it has all but killed my playing. Before we get started too, I'm running through a Randall 412 cabinet with loaded with vintage 30s. So let's turn the master volume down and standby off. Now we are on the white channel currently. Okay, so this currently is set up bass all the way up. Mids are kind of like about maybe 10 o'clock. Highs are more like 3 o'clock. Gain is 3/4 of the way on both gain pots. One bright switch is on the first gain pot is 1,000 picofarad, and then the other one is set to, I think, 4,700. Resonance all the way up, presence halfway, no diode clipping. So any kind of weird buzzes and things you hear out of the amp are going to be the Wi-Fi coming through my amp, because it does that song. But anyways, here we go. Okay, so that's 4 gain stages. We're going to run through the options here pretty quick to give you an overall idea. This is the 3-way mid-range control. Okay, so that's that. I'm gonna do the clipping now. It may come through, it may not. It's kind of a subtle change in tonality, but this would be the transistor clipping. You notice it most like on lead stuff. It has more of a round sort of tone. If I go the opposite direction and do the diode clipping, it gets a little tighter. So you kind of get the gist of that. Now we're going to kick in the extra gain stage, which actually I think I've got set up on my. Okay, here we go. Out. A lot more gain, and the cool thing is with the negative feedback you can dial in some throatier tones even at higher gain settings, like with this. And then you can even add any of the clipping options. And it basically kind of tightens up the attack, I think, if you use the diode clipping. quite a bit of difference between, I mean, this is totally a very usable, chunky, you know, heavy rhythm tone. And what's cool is with the foot switchable master volumes, you can set a different, basically, so you get a boost, you know. And it's all foot switchable. So now let's go to the second channel. This would be the red channel. It's very similarly voiced. It does not have the extra gain stage, so it's definitely kind of more less chunky. The thing I like about it is the note articulation is great. Back it up. Don't you hate it when people tune on video? I do too, honestly, but this guitar will not stand tuned. So, same sort of deal on this. The clipping is more noticeable on this particular channel, I think, in the lower gain settings, because without, this is the transistor. Adds kind of a overall fuzziness, and then the diode clipping adds more of a tightness to the overall tone. Man, I'm having a hard time. So let's see what kind of classic tones we can get here. Back. it's pretty versatile. I mean, it's 2 channels. There is no clean channel because, well, I don't play clean generally. Not a real huge fan of clean guitar much, unless I'm doing chicken picking stuff, which I can't really do much of the. Can't do a whole lot of that stuff anymore, but you kind of get the gist. Favorite tones on this channel, about 3/4 gain. Back to the channel 2, which is the white channel. It has a little more punch to me overall. I think it's a little bit set up more towards a modern. And so for 4 gain stages, I mean, you can push it even further, and then it gets into like a. Pretty woolly, like. That's even too fuzzy for that. So that's 4 stages of gain. I like it 3/4 is pretty. Almost like an ideal rhythm tone for me. I mean, I would like a little more gain than that normally, but I think the 5th gain stage is a little bit too much for that. I mean, I can dial it back with the gain controls, but I mean, that's pretty. So yeah, you kind of get the deal. That's a ton of gain. If I back it down a bit on the high gain, that's about where I'd want it if I had the extra gain stage So there you have it. I think I'm done. It's got a little bit of hum to it, not bad, doesn't bother me a bit. I'll be using a noise gate with this thing anyways. So 2 channels, each channel has just shares the cathode follower, has a tube buffered effects loop. It's about 40-50 watts, somewhere in that range, 2 EL34s. Yeah.